It really has been a profitable day for us here on the Euro USD as we saw price s- slash through our profit target at 1.05215 with over 100 pips profit target. Now we now see price right back inside that temporary bearish trend line we identified earlier in the week, where I'm looking for structures probably support a downtrend continuation to the downside. So with the profit target hit right now with 107 pips, I would like to delete this as this is no longer necessary at this point. So give me a moment, allow me to delete the structures here, and let's see how we can take advantage of a possible new opportunity as price action is being monitored from this moment in the market. First of all, it's still pertinent to know that we are still bearish on this one, and we notice that since later part of April, price has been respecting this bearish trend line that is represented on the chart with a red dotted line. So going forward, we are going to be using this trend line as a guide going into the new day. Now, scaling down to the much lower time frame, the 1 hour time frame, we begin to see things very clearly. As we can see, as soon as price got into that, excuse me, as soon as price got into that bearish trend line that we identified earlier on the daily time frame, we begin to see multiple rejection of this area, which gives us a clue that there's the possibility that buyers are finding it difficult to push further below above 1.00555. So how do we take advantage of this trade at this point in time? So with the new supply zone identified earlier, I think it's high time we change the supply zone as we can see that it's no longer serving that purpose. So to do that, we want to be looking for a retracement into the golden zone of this impulse leg. So bringing out our retracement tool and running it through that impulse leg, we are going to be having something like this, where we'll be having our retrace. We are expecting a culmination of a retracement into the 78.6% and the 50 retracement area of that last impulse leg, which is around this area. So if you allow me, we'll delete the retracement tool and let's work with the structure we're having right around this area. Allow me to give this more transparency. Okay, great. And then, so now, is this key level still holding for us? Let's check it out. Right now, the key level has been broken and price appears to have rejected that key level a couple of times, and it seems we are caught up in something that looks more like a consolidation phase right now. So what are we going to do? There are two expectations to this. There's a possibility that we might be having an uptrend continuation where we've already seen the breakout of that key level at 1.05200, and we want to be looking for probably a possible retest of that key level with structures that support a trend continuation to the upside that will probably allow us to add more position to those bullish buyers. However, considering the long-term bearish momentum on this time frame, on this chart, it is very pertinent that we look more closely into the possibilities of a bearish momentum if there are any. So when we scale down to a much lower time frame, let's say the 15 minutes time frame, we want to see what is happening within that structure that looks more like a consolidation phase at this point in time. So if we scale down to the 15 minutes time frame, we are right within the supply zone, and within the supply zone, we are beginning to see structures that support that looks more like a consolidation phase as price action continue to juxtapose between 1.05520 and 1.05200, which has been our key level before we started this week. If I pull out my line chart at this point and run I noticed that there is a bullish trend line right within this 15 minutes time frame that appears to have been broken, and is presently doing a retest at this point. So bringing back my candle chart and looking at what structure is giving us, we can see that at this point in time, we had this breakdown of this trend line, which gives us a little sign that probably we might be going for a bearish momentum. And indeed, if we really want to be going for a bearish momentum, what do we need to be looking out for? First of all, we don't want to see structure taking out, breaking above this level at 1.055 area. So allow me to give this a purple to differentiate that area from what we're talking about. So if you look closely into this scenario right now, what I'm really trying to say here is this. We don't want to see structure break out of this area, because if structure breakouts of that level, then we definitely want to be looking for a bullish continuation momentum, and we could look for a retracement into this area with structures that supports a trend continuation to the upside. So that will definitely give us a bullish momentum. However, if price continue to reject this trend line, the back of this trend line, as we continue to see rejection of this, then we might be getting ready for any opportunity to sell this pair. But how soon or where do we do the selling? Well, we at this point in time we can't really project a structure right now because of the bullish momentum that have gripped the market since the beginning of this week. However, I will want to suggest that we look at this key level, which you can see at this point has also been a major support level for price action since Bright got into the supply zone area. We can see that price has been rejecting that level multiple times. So let's for me, since we can't really project a structure right within the supply zone at this moment in time, definitely for a, a significant signal, we want to be looking for, since we've already seen a breakdown of that trend line, we want to be looking for a further breakdown of that key level with one or two engulfing candles there about probably on the 15 or the 1 hour time frame, where we'll be looking for a retest of this key level, probably this temporary trend line that we identified on the daily time frame, where we now be looking for structures that will support a trend continuation to the downside. So if this happens at this point, then we want to be looking for, we want to be using the key level as our yardstick going forward for the bearish momentum. And what this simply means is that we want to be looking right below that key level at around 1.05190 for entry points at this time, after which we've had confirmation details. So once we have confirmation on this one, we want to be having a position that looks more like this. And if you remember vividly, we want to be having a position that looks more like this with a stop loss right above that structure at this point. And if you go back to our 1 hour time frame, you will remember that we had a take profit target right around this area, 1.02900, where we were looking at the projection of this impulse leg. So with that being said, let's all keep our fingers crossed. And once again, congratulations to you if you are taking that opportunity of that bullish momentum that hit our take profit target today. Kudos to you. So on this one, we'll be having a stop loss right between 40 to 50 pips thereabouts. So that's what I'll be looking for my take profit target on this one. Sorry, my stop loss on this one. So we are still within the supply zone, and let's see how price action reacts to the structure, and then I shall definitely be sharing an update at every point in time that we see something very tangible to talk about. So thank you for watching, and do have a wonderful night rest. Bye.